So much love and appreciation to those of you who have been with me for the 2 year period plus that I've been doing this. Thank you for showing your love and support to the channel. And to anybody else who is brand new to the platform and you would like to support the channel, also, you can do it by way of Patreon, Anchor, the clothing store, and also the shoe shop that is listed in the comment description below. And again, thank you to any and all of you guys who have been here to support this channel during the 2+ year period. I wouldn't be able to do what I do every single day without you. All right, so before we get into the topic today, if anybody pretty much knows about my platform, the one thing that I've always advocated for, has been for children. That's the main thing that I advocate more than anything else, because children are the most important. Because when we happen to fail the kids, and when we happen to give lack of protection or provide lack of protection, for a better word, for children, we end up failing not only ourselves, but we also fail our current and our future generation as well. So when I gave the stat directly here, it was more so to point out the fact that you have this going on, right, directly on both sides, right, that it happens. You have men and women that do this, and that's one of the main things that I wanted to point out. But the most glaring thing that I wanted to point out is the fact that you have a lot of women perpetrators, and that's the one main thing that I've talked about before, due to the fact that the narrative, right, on who is the villain is always pushed on men, right? Nobody wants to look at the whole other side to see what's going on over there, because normally if you're focused clearly having tunnel vision looking at one thing, you're not going to pay attention to what the other person is doing, because you're like, okay, villain, criminal, jail, right? That's what is basically the main sense when people think about men and children. But nobody has that same correlation when it comes to women. This is why you have a lot of more female perpetrators, because more times than not, women can do these things and also get away with these things, right? But then when I put this out, you'll have people like this that'll state, so there were only 225,000 male perpetrators, and that's something to be proud of. Why is anybody going after anybody, and why is it a competition? And then you have the other person underneath saying 100% right. It's not to deal with a competition, and for you to, in a sense, view it in that light, shows how ignorant you actually are and how much you really don't know the content of my channel. I highlight the things that a lot of people didn't even know. I'm pretty sure that Carolyn Forge didn't know anything about these numbers. I'm pretty sure Glam Goddess D didn't know anything about these numbers. Like I said, and just like the other stories that I've brought up about kids. See, my main problem is whenever I happen to generalize or talk about women, right? People like this will make sure to show up and they'll open their mouths, right? Because they feel that they have a leg to stand on. They feel that they're being attacked or that women are being attacked. But when I just so happen to bring up stories about children and the things that are happening to them that should not be happening, people like this won't leave a comment. They don't have nothing to say. They'll skip over that video. They'll overlook that video. Like I said before, this is the main reason that I bring up this types of information, because a lot of people don't know about it at all. So this is basically what the video is about here, right? So you're going to see a variety of different images directly up here, and they're going to revolve around, in a sense, the statistic that I gave out sometime around yesterday, right? When it dealt with the perpetrators, right? Now, on this platform, I've talked about and shown you stories, read off stories to you, brought videos to you countless times, numerous times, about the things that take place to children by way of a lot of men out here, and how they somehow, some way, due to the fact of the system, and as I told you guys before, the system doesn't really care about your kids. So this is why they get let off easy, 1, 2, 3, 4 different times, right? And they're able to move in, next to you, or they're able to move into a school zone, or they're going to these different areas, or how they're not registering or re-registering properly, right? Or somehow how the system is not able to keep track of them magically, right? So this woman stated this: within 30 minutes, many inappropriate comments rolled in about a young man, some deleted, once called out, but woo, the predatory beliefs and the adultification of black boys is something fierce. Y'all nasty. So these are just some of the comments that you are able to see, right? One of them stated that by Angelina Cortez, 14, a great day to be 15. Stephanie, whatever, 14, question mark, exclamation. Bianca said 14, I'm going to prison for my thoughts. Thank you for stating his age ASAP. Taylor Lynn said at Bianca, no, seriously. And Raya, she stated 14 question mark? God, okay, bye. So when I happen to talk about these things, you know, sometimes I might not be able to give you examples to what it is that is you know, taking place or that has happened. Even in some of my live streams, my videos, I've had men who are honest. They were stating how, you know, they ended up, you know, their first contact with a woman was by way of a older woman at a very young age. And we were going over a lot of different things, you know, dealing with that subject topic and some of those things, you know, that people are being honest about, right? So the next one, right? This is I think Diggy Simmons, right? So a person said it doesn't even matter right now. So Diggy is legal, right? Because during this time, I think he was still in high school, right? And you had a whole bunch of women. The thing that people don't understand is that you have a whole bunch of women that are older. I'm talking about like women who are in their deep 20s to their 30s and so on, that will adultify a lot of these young men, right? So they'll look at these young men when they're in high school, they're like, oh, I can't wait until he gets older and da da da. They'll say a lot of these things, but nobody's going to give them the same energy that they would give guys, right? So some of them, Jessica said, Diggy legal now, I can lust. Tired.org said, is Diggy legal yet? I'm tired of waiting. Another person basically stated, Princess Tiana said, bruh, is Diggy legal? Just saw a pic of him and Windy City Peach stated, is Diggy legal yet? Hashtag BT Awards 2015, asking for my little cousin. And Colleen stated, Diggy legal question mark. I feel so dirty. A lot of these women have been looking at this young man and they've been monitoring him, right, for a very long time. This is why they're stating, right, it's trying to come off as funny, but they're dead serious. And that's the thing that I don't understand, because if these were guys looking at a young person that was in high school, right, female, oh, you know, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, it would have been torn apart. Women everywhere would have been like, this is what we're talking about with, man. How is it that y'all sit up there and XYZ and da 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 da? And then they'll be trying to find out the information, the addresses, the driver's license, the state ID, where the dude works, his family, if he had, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, women would go to the ends of the earth in order to destroy guys if they did anything close to this. Even if a guy is hitting on somebody that is actually the same age, they will still sit up there and try to go to the lengths of destroying that guy just for doing that. But yet, as I stated before, if the roles were reversed, what do you think would have happened? What do you think the outcry would have been? How lit do you think Twitter would have been on trying to sit up there and condemn that type of behavior, right? So then we got the next one here, and this is of a little man here, right? One lady named Mariah Fivey, right? She stated, he's so cute, right? And I had to block out the words. You could basically fill in those words. I'm not going to say that whole statement, right? And I guess the mother underneath stated that my son turned 3 today, right? So this is like the picture of her son. I guess it's like a little small, you know, photo shoot, you know, that they were sitting up there doing. My main thing is how crazy it is that you have a woman up above basically stating that this is how she pictures, right, and views this image, and then she's trying to compare that between older men and the actions there. And I'm like, nobody sees an issue or a problem with that. Nobody wants to call this out. Nobody's trying to find out anything. Nobody's trying to sit up there and condemn her, trying to condemn those actions and all this other type of stuff. Like I said before, it's crazy out here. It's crazy out here. Like I said, things like this don't get talked about, but if the roles were reversed, We already know what would sit up there and happen. But like I keep telling y'all, equality doesn't exist. Because the moment in time that it's time to put that equality to the forefront, that it's time to actually test that out to see if women are going to do what needs to be done, it doesn't get done. But yet you got people screaming around here, oh, we want equality, we want this, we want that. Why is it that you only want the good side of equality? Why don't you want the whole other side of equality when it deals with accountability and responsibility? This is what that looks like. Be held accountable. Make other women responsible for these nonsensical, ridiculous type of comments that you just so happen to see online, but y'all ain't gonna sit up here and do it. Y'all gonna look past it. Y'all ain't gonna say nothing. Y'all ain't gonna try to call them out. Nothing like that. Like I said, this is ridiculous. And like I said, regardless on if the comments that I'm going over are new or not, it's new to me, right? So like I said before, I'm going to put stuff up here that is an example that has to specifically do with the topic at hand. If you're not adult enough to actually stay on topic and you just want to list like, oh, this is old, this is new, this is old, then yo, it's obviously, like I said before, this channel ain't obviously for you. Go stick to a channel that always stays current, that has like brand new news every 5 minutes, that's specifically going on during the 24 hours. Nothing dealing with anything past that 24 hours. Like I said before, like, yo, my whole main thing has been advocating for kids and the protection of kids, and to make sure that you talk to them so that, you know, they will end up, you know, growing up properly, right? So that they don't have any of the issues, you know, that other adults growing up, or that, you know, other children have had to basically go through. Our black young men are not protected. And I'm going to put it just like that. The same way that you'll hear black women say that, yo, our daughters are not protected. Our black young men are not being protected. And then on top of that, a lot of these things take place by way of the child, right? Being directly in the hands of the mother. People don't want to sit up there and pay attention to that either. Like I said, it was a comedian by the name of D-Ray. You can go look at his interview on Vlad TV, and he specifically stated how he ended up, the reason why he is how he is at this moment in time is because of the interaction that he had with two of his mother's older friends, and how they directly took turns on him. Pay attention. This is a young man, and these were two women in their 30s doing this to a young man. But like I said, when I bring these things up and I'm advocating for the young black men out here, nobody wants to highlight that. Nobody wants to pay attention. But the main thing that people will say is, well, Seiji, well, maybe if the fathers were, you know, in the picture, you know, maybe this X, Y, and Z wouldn't, you know, sit up there and happen. The main thing that I'm saying is this. I can't sit up there and blame, in a sense, somebody who is not there. I can't blame the invisible man. I'm not going to sit up there and go in on guys who don't exist. I can't sit up there and do that, in a sense, right? You know who those people are. So if you feel that that is the case specifically to your situation, then you need to sit up there and go talk to that man. Like I said, I come from a single parent household. So I'm sitting up there speaking on the aspect, knowing the fact that women are there. Women are present, right? The men are not present, right? So going from that aspect, having that information, knowing that the woman is, in a sense, the CEO, the president of that corporation, it is the woman's responsibility, right, at that moment in time, because you are the number one caregiver, you are that parent, you are providing everything to protect that child. And what I see is a lot of protection ain't taking place, but yet you have a lot of individuals out here who want to state that, you know, I'm independent, I'm strong, I don't need a man to raise a child, I can do it all by myself. This is what that looks like. So just like I've stated before, and even in the statistics, right? We all know that you have a lot of men out there that, you know, do these types of things, right? But even more so, which has been hidden, which doesn't really get highlighted or talked about on social media or anywhere, right, is that you have women on the same level, if not more, that are doing the exact same things. So in order to sit up there and stop this, We got to sit up there and focus on everything that's taking place and not just clearly focus on one side that you believe has always been the villain from day one.